What do you say there, all you Beatlemaniacs? Well, everyone, it's November, the month of Thanksgiving. And with that uniquely American holiday approaching, what better way to celebrate than by reviewing a movie that tributes a uniquely British band with a uniquely British cast, written and directed by a couple of Brits.
Now that is irony!
Okay, so one thing my viewers may not know about me, I love the Beatles. Pretty basic pick, but they are my all-time favorite band.
Wow! How original!
And today, we'll be taking a look at Yesterday from 2019. It was directed by Danny Boyle, another director that really runs the gambit in terms of genre. By the way, that's a topic I thought might make for an interesting video in the future. Directors who have avoided the pigeonhole of any one genre. Let me know if that's something you'd like to see. Anyway, Yesterday tells the story of Jack Malik, a small-time musician who's been waiting for that big break that always seems to be eluding him. One night, as he's riding his bike back home, a global power outage takes place just as Jack is hit by a bus. Upon his recovery the next few days, Jack finds just a few differences from the world he knew before. Coca-Cola doesn't exist, which is fine by me because Pepsi is by far the superior soft drink.
Boo this man!
I stand by it and I make no apologies. But anyway, the most notable change, as Jack learns, is the Beatles never existed. And, to Jack's knowledge at least, he's the only person left who even remembers them. So what does he decide to do? Well, he decides to take this opportunity and see if he can make a name for himself with some classic music. So to kick off this review, it goes without saying that the movie's got a great soundtrack. Himesh Patel does a really great job covering the Fab Four's discography, and that's a tall order. I mean, he's not just performing one or two Beatles songs, but a huge chunk of their work, and I've got to give him props as a diehard fan. And while we're praising the musical performance, I guess I can go ahead and praise the acting performances all around. Patel does a fine job in the lead role, capturing a really flawed and layered character, but I'll get into those specifics when I talk about the script. Lily James is really charming as Ellie, especially when she confesses her feelings for Jack. And Joel Fry is a really great standout as Rocky, Jack's deadbeat friend turned roadie. Kate McKinnon is also a lot of fun, but I've honestly got to give the biggest shout out to Ed Sheeran. The guy is a surprisingly good actor, especially in the scene after he challenges Jack to a songwriting contest.
You're definitely Mozart, mate, and I'm definitely Salieri. Alright, Jack.
Oh wow, great reference to one of my favorite movies there. Well, I guess it's more a reference to the historical figures themselves. Also, how dare you break that poor ginger boy's heart? If you're doing a contest where you've got to write a song in 10 minutes and you've got all of the Beatles available to you, don't do the long and winding road. Do, I don't know, Octopus's Garden or something. Okay, so moving on from that, I really want to give a lot of praise to the script by Richard Curtis. As I said before, Jack is obviously a flawed character. We want to see him succeed, but at the same time, it feels a little scummy that he would take such great music and pass it off as his own. But then, the movie poses an interesting question near the end. If you lived in a world where the Beatles never existed, you knew of these words and melodies, and you had the musical talent for it, wouldn't it be a crime to deny that gift to humanity? I really love when a fun comedy gets me asking questions like this. I guess one minor criticism I can give is the butterfly effect argument. You know what I'm talking about. The idea that if you go back in time and kill a butterfly, there's no telling how the ripple effect of that could affect history. So okay, in the world Jack has found himself in, the Beatles never existed, right? But we do see that David Bowie is still around, we know Coldplay exists, and yeah, of course, Ed Sheeran is prominent in the movie. But who's to say without the influence of the Beatles whether these or many other artists would have ever come to be? But okay, that's obviously a small nitpick and doesn't really affect the overall story. Now I did mention earlier that the movie makes the point that the world shouldn't be denied the music of the Beatles, and that does tie into the finale. I won't spoil it, but I will say this. The final point that the movie drives home is the question of what it actually means to be successful and to choose what's important to us. You go on this journey with Jack, and along with him, you start to ponder about the push and pull between ambition and contentment, recognizing the importance of being grateful for all you have in front of you. Hey, what do you know? I was able to tie it back into the holiday after all. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone!
A turkey for me, turkey for you. Let's eat turkey in a big brown shoe.
I've been Kenny Steps. Take it easy. and keep stepping into the movies.